Hello. Sorry we're late. We're also streaming to Caro's YouTube channel, so I'll let Caro do an introduction and then whip around. But before that, apologies for being late. We just got to chatting backstage. So whoops. Caro, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Kara Brown. I'm an urban fantasy author, and I work over at Riververse Publishing, a comic book publisher for Hero Comics. Zara was very kind enough to invite me onto her stream today, so I'm actually going to be working on a writing project. It's called Bad Seeds, and I like to affectionately call it my redneck John Wick story. So that's what I'll be doing.
I love that.
Hi everyone, my name is Chandra Arthur. I am one half of Flash Fiction Live, and keep an eye out because we will be returning from hiatus soon. Today I will be working on my sci-fi project. I write science fiction, historical fiction, and fantasy primarily, along with flash fictions of every genre. So I'm gonna be working on my sci-fi project.
And I just realized that my little banner thing underneath my name was from when I was doing a backstage with someone. So, oops.
I didn't know that StreamYard was doing that. It's very handy.
Yeah. Anyway, my name is Zara Hoffman. I'm the founder of Inimitable Books, a small publishing company, and now an imprint of Ulysses Press dedicated to publishing fiction from marginalized voices without pigeonholing authors into writing about their trauma. And we have a lot of people in the comments, so I'm just going to say hello to everyone. Sorry, I'm not putting up all comments on screen, but Jessica is ready to work, which is great. So I'm going to start the forest room so people can enter it and we can jump into a first sprint rather quickly. And if you've never done the forest room before, I have a little tutorial I can show up on screen. And it's going to block half of your screens, Caro and Chandra, but people will still be able to see you. And it'll completely block me. So let's share that little thing and then I'll pop the code up. Tap the flame icon, turn off deep focus, and turn on plant together. Tap on a darkened section of the screen, join room, and enter the code. And the code is here. If you are watching on a replay, these codes will not work. Opening the timer so that we're set and ready to go. Sorry, I realized I picked the wrong tree. There we go. Ink Steady saying, "Are you tired today?" It may count. Yeah. Been a bit tired, not feeling 100%, but today's the best day I've felt since coming back from a trip, so I'm hopefully getting better. I felt fine on the trip, but I think I just got a cold coming back or something. Let's see. People saying, like, hope you're doing well to each other. Carol had a good start to the day with coffee, husband, and cuddles with doggos. I'm reading from the chat. So. Athena saying it's early for her, but she made it. There will be a nap later. Naps are awesome. Cool Gamers here on both our channels. Barrett is saying hi on Caro's channel. And Athena needs to clean off her desk first thing. I need to do my morning routine. I thought I'd have time to do it before the live stream started, and I miscalculated time. So, with that said, let's jump into our first sprint. Hide the code. Sprint. Ooh, you can't type this morning. That's not a good sign. One of 4, and in 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. How did everyone do?
I did good. I was trying to work on the establishing pages of my comic because I had made it a little bit of too slow of a burn, so you couldn't really immediately tell what the point of my story was at the beginning. So I was like, well, we'll just start with somebody dead on the floor and go from there. So that's what we did.
We love a slow burn, not that slow.
Yeah, not that slow. Like pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
I do love spicing things up with the body on the floor. That always does it.
Yeah.
I did good. I would love to clean my desk, but I know me, and I knew that I would get sidetracked if I didn't immediately start doing word things. So I did word things, and they were good. Also, I was laughing at myself because I left myself a note where I was being very sarcastic with like past me, and like it was
Past you was being sarcastic with future you, and now you're future you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like a duh kind of moment. So it was kind of nice. And yeah, I'm making really good progress. I mean, I was already at a good place where I left it last. So hopefully in the next sprint, I will let myself clean a small area on my desk and continue the momentum with word things.
I did almost all of my morning routine. I would have finished the last bit of it by taking my psych meds. Had I not realized I didn't actually have water on my, like a liquid on my desk to swallow the pills. I did all my homeopathic stuff. I started the dishwasher, which I thought I had done last night, and I had the soap in there, which meant that I hit a button, but apparently it decided to rinse only, which I never select, so I don't know what happened. But I fixed that this morning, and then I made myself breakfast and ate almost all of it. So, pretty productive for me for a first sprint. Normally I don't get through the whole thing at once. So.
Well, that's outstanding. Good job.
Thank you. Part of my desk cleaned off that I'll need to record Plan with Me is awesome. 370. Child breakfast, that's important. Irish breakfast, no clue why I'm still. Grayson, please go to sleep. Take care of your body. Mm-hmm. I mean, 370 is still great. So. See, like, I know some people have done that, but for me, if I'm putting the soap in, I'm immediately hitting the button because otherwise I know I'll forget because of my ADHD. So it's like I put the soap in right when I'm like, that's the final step. The dishwasher's loaded. The soap
Wait,
immediately
there's one cup in my room, and I'm just gonna grab it off my nightstand really quick.
Which is actually where my water is, and I'm going to do that now because you said it. I know you were joking, but
oh, we love that when it actually is helpful. Ooh, caffeine sounds so good. I try to do like one day a week at least where I'm not doing any caffeine, but that day doesn't have to be today.
No. Have you tried doing caffeine delay at all?
What's that?
So, he's one of my favorite people, a neuroscientist. His name is Andrew Huberman, and he likes to talk about different ways to take care of your body so that way it optimizes your brain stuff, right? That's a simple way to say it. But one of the things that he encourages folks to do is a caffeine delay. And the reason he does that is because science, I'm just going to say that because I don't have the names of the studies in front of me to give you. But there's research that shows that caffeine is actually it's most beneficial when you've been awake for about 2 hours. So yeah, so the caffeine delay is you wake up and you go about your normal routine, and then when you kind of hit like that 2 hour mark is when you can have a little bit of caffeine, and have it kind of be more beneficial. I've actually tried doing that with my husband this last couple of months. I can't really tell you like how beneficial it is. I do like the quality coffee time that I get to spend with my husband, so there's like a quality of life thing right there. But we've also tried like this new coffee that's actually made from mushrooms. Have you guys tried that?
I've heard of it.
It's good.
If
Yeah,
it tastes like coffee, though, I still wouldn't like it. I just don't like the taste of coffee.
it's got like this kind of uh, forgive me, but it's got almost like a creamy taste to it. And it's one of those coffees that actually goes really well with milk. But there's no mushroom taste. There's like a really subtle kind of like earth taste to it, but it's not like done in a way where you feel like you're eating like sand or something. So
Wait,
I would
when you
try
say
it.
mushroom coffee, is it like coffee that has mushrooms in it?
it's coffee made from mushrooms and caffeinated. Yeah.
But there's no like.
There are no coffee beans.
There are no coffee beans. It is
Okay.
caffeine of mushrooms, yeah.
Is that what the brand is called?
No, I can get it and put it in the private chat for you. Give me 1 second.
Yes, please.
I've heard of Huberman before, but I've not really listened to any of his.
Oh, I was corrected. It has coffee beans in it. I'm
It's
sorry.
okay. I was like,
Okay.
I was like, I don't know if I could do that.
Okay. See, I would do it without the coffee beans because I just don't like the taste of coffee.
So I've gotten really spoiled because my partner is very into coffee and, you know, kind of was like, give me the Folgers and then like dunked it into the trash can and was like, no, that's an exaggeration. that's very, very much an exaggeration, but that's like something that we joke about a lot.
But now that should be like put in a TV show or something.
Probably.
Like, hey, like, can I have some coffee? It's like, no, like all of it. Really? Okay. Trash.
Right?
There's another coffee that's actually made from cacao bean just from cacao. So that actually tastes a lot like chocolate milk. It's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, now that one please give me as well.
I mean, I was at first I thought they were just being dramatic. And then the other day I was like, oh, I'm just going to run through Starbucks really quick. Someone had given me a gift card and I got a shot of espresso and I was like, oh, this is terrible. It tastes burnt. This
Okay.
used to be fine.
Okay. Here comes my coffee snub. Okay, first off, Starbucks' signature taste is burnt. Like that's it. Like it's absolutely gross.
I've heard that. I haven't drunk enough coffee to verify that because I was just like, I don't like the taste. And before you say, oh, you've only tried Starbucks, that's not true. I've tried other types of coffee to know that I just don't like the taste of coffee.
That's very valid, though.
There's so quick history lesson. I used to manage a coffee shop for a nonprofit organization, so we assisted women from like domestic and substance abuse histories and helped them get back on their feet, and so that way they could go back out into the world and be successful. And one of the things about managing a coffee shop is that you have to go and sit with roasters and try their samples and talk to them and see if you want to bring them into the shop and stuff like that. So I got to sample a lot of coffee. But it was so interesting, and it's almost like, I don't know if you guys do like beer flights or mead flights or anything else like that, but they literally just have like a row of shot glasses in front of you with like the different roasts that they do for you to sample and stuff like that. And so what happened, unfortunately, is that after I did that, I was always able to pick up like the carbon taste in Starbucks, and it was just so gross. Like, but my favorite is, if I have to go to Starbucks, I usually get like that maca latte, the green tea one. That's the one I get because there's no coffee beans in it. There's no burnt taste.
That's how I started to get it. I realized the only stuff I get at Starbucks is zero coffee related at all, and I'm like, that's kind of sad.
But I get their summer refresher things, like strawberry lemonade or their, what was it, pineapple mango, I think, or whatever. And like, I used to get strawberry frappuccinos, and now I'm like, I'm gonna get something without whipped cream. I know it's still sugar in a cup, but like, I feel slightly better about myself. But that's very rare, and it's normally right after I do like strength training, which is basically like physical therapy 2.0 without the like, oh, we're gonna free up the time of the physical therapists to work with people who actually need help with the mobility part, and you just need the strength part. So this person like has slightly fewer like medical qualifications, but is still within the system of your hospital, so knows what your surgery was and knows what it scripted and can talk to your doctors like directly through notes and things like that.
Yeah, we love that kind of rapport. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And they have a Starbucks right in the, like when you walk in.
Mhm.
And I'm always like, nope, don't do it when you walk in. But sometimes when I walk out, I'm like, yeah, I'm really hot. I need to cool down. I'm going to get myself a like
Wintertime,
overpriced drink.
if you get, they have, you can get their tea brewed in lemonade.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, I used to do that.
I still enjoy that.
What was the one that I got? I got their peach tea lemonade.
Ooh.
I don't know if that's still a thing, but
It's
that's
Oh, if you go in there and you ask for anything, they'll make it for you, even if it's not on the menu. It's the hidden item.
yeah. Ice peach green tea lemonade. I was like, I'm missing a part of the name. I haven't ordered it at all this summer because I've been doing the
Oh, that sounds so good. I'm
refresher.
gonna make myself some.
Uh-huh.
I guess that's the thing that also gets me, because like, so I'm that kind of person. Hello. Where I'll reverse engineer a drink. So like, if I taste it, I'm like, I can make this at home and I can do it cheaper, and that's usually what I do. So
Starbucks is no good for coffee. It's all sugar. Exactly.
yeah, it's really bad.
I also try not to go there because there were like locations that were being not cool with the LGBTQIA community, and I was like, for someone who doesn't drink coffee and like buys tea that I can just brew at home really easily, how often am I going to be going to Starbucks? And the answer is once a week max.
Yeah. Although I found there's a lot of local coffee roasters, coffee shops, and there's even a tea shop. They're all locally owned. They all have better quality products, and they're like just like good to and for the community. And I'm like, you know what? It's the same price as Starbucks.
Yeah, if I liked coffee and there was a local place, I would absolutely be going.
Yeah. And most of them, like if you buy a bag of coffee beans, they'll, for me, like I don't have a coffee grinder, so they'll grind the beans for you based off of like, you just tell them what kind of like home brewing system you use, and they'll grind it appropriately for that.
Oh, that's cool.
Also give you, if it's winter, they'll give you a cup of hot, like drip coffee, or if it's summer, they'll give you ice cold brew just with your purchase.
I have a question for somebody in the comment section. This is really important for science. Jessica, what is the name of that tea so I can go get it?
A vanilla nut tea. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to have that because it has nuts in it, but it sounds good for.
I want to try it for science. I'll do it for you. I'll let you know. I'll give you like a full 3-page rating about it.
Was able to drink it while pregnant because it's caffeine free, so that was a huge plus. Awesome, Jessica. By the way, to be clear, I was reading that comment. I have never been pregnant. That was me reading a comment of someone who has been pregnant.
You got the code up. We're about to do another one. I can tell. I feel it.
6 November, Romeo, Quebec, 9 Echo, Tango, Sierra Golf. Athena in the comments saying, this is how we do everything good or bad for science.
Also, I need to find my ring light for science.
Well, maybe when you clean up part of your desk, you'll find it.
Yeah, I had a big box light. The other one's actually up there somewhere, and I just don't want to get it down. But I broke it. There was smoke.
Broke the one that's up there?
Though it used to sit behind my desk.
Oh.
And I could use it for work and for streaming. And I unplugged it without turning it off. And turns out that can be bad. So it fried it and started smoking, and yeah.
I don't think that's normal because I've had ones where I've forgotten to unplug it and I did and it was fine. And then in the future, I remembered the next time.
I think the outlet had an open ground though. I think that was the problem.
Yeah. I don't think that's the ring light's problem.
No. It was definitely just like a perfect storm and some user error.
There was I leave it at my mom's place because I have really good lighting at my apartment, like natural lighting, and then also when I light my living room with my lamp, it always is good enough here. But at my mom's place, if I'm not streaming in her living room, where there's also really good natural light, my desk is built in there with bookshelves. It was built in by the people who had like completely gutted and renovated the apartment before my mom and I moved in at 13 years ago. That's weird to say. And it's like this overhang that even if I have light in the lamp that's very bright and pointed at me, it's all angled, and the light above, while very good, like doesn't affect it because of the overhang of the bookshelf. So I got this thing from Amazon where you like put it on top of your computer, and it has a really good camera and it has a light around it, and it's like all in one, and it's really small and it's really effective. So I can send you the link of that if you want.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Hi, Eva. I know I owe you things. Love you.
Hi, I owe you stuff. Don't at me. It's basically what you're like. You're like, I'm not hiding. I acknowledge that I owe you stuff, but
They spend a lot of time napping. He's
I've
deciding
seen
if he
what's
wants to nap
happening
over
right
here or over there, or yeah. No, they're doing pretty good. The house is pretty well air conditioned, and they'll go outside to kind of go bark at other dogs and stuff like that. But then they come back in and take more
So
naps.
living their
My
best life is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it's very terrible to be them. You know, they can't figure out where the best nap spot is. Kissy, who you haven't seen yet, is actually under my desk, sleeping on my foot right now. And if I move my foot, she will move, so that way she's back on my foot. Maximum contact at all times with this dog.
Riley will, if she chooses to sleep up against me, like her back butted up against my leg or my side or whatever, if I'm on the couch or we're in bed together, I can't move. I can't move away from her because she'll scooch to that. But if I move towards her, then she'll just up and leave. And I'm like, no, I wanted to you were pushing me off the bed. I wanted to move. I didn't tell you that you had to completely move away. And it's like pointless.
The feline overlord is doing well. We had a lot of quality time yesterday, and because I was not feeling well, so he was like, "I will be your hot water bottle," and I was like, "Yes, come here." And then the other one is over here napping because it's raining and gross outside, so I think it'll probably be a pretty sleepy day.
Okay, apparently the model that I got, they no longer have the one with the light. Instead, they're showing me one that has like a built-in privacy thing. And like, that's cool, but that's not what I was hoping to link to.
Yay, Eva! Orange kitties are great. Toasted marshmallow. Aww. Must have pictures.
Okay, now they're only alternatives I can't like personally vouch for. But it seems like there are a lot of other ones that are similar. So, Chandra, I'll just send you a link.
Thank you. He's no Dobby, but he'll do. Oh, poor baby. I mean, you don't know. He might grow into the same kind of terror. So,
I mean, Dobby is like known for creating havoc, and that applies to both the original character and your cat.
I should have known.
It's like when Mia, Vixen of Fiction, will be like, "Oh, like Loki's so mischievous." I'm like, "What did you think was going to happen when you named your dog Loki?" Like, what did you think was going to happen? Was
That's
there any
what I say
question that
myself.
he wouldn't be mischievous?
Like, I did do this to myself. I did.
Like, Riley, you know, is one letter off from Wiley. And when Riley is being, you know, a little too much scheming, we'll be like Riley. Or if she's being crazy, we'll say Riley Rascal Hoffman.
Do you know, when I hear the name Riley now, I think about Bing Bong.
Bing bong. Who's your friend who likes to play bing bong, bing bong?
Yes. It's such a good movie. That part always makes me cry.
They're making an Inside Out 2, and I'm like, I know Pete Docter's amazing, but like, do we need a sequel? Like, just let it.
Please don't break it.
I know.
Let us have this one thing.
I know. Please don't do a sequel for something that was already so perfect. But see, the thing is that I said that to like Princess Diaries, the movies, and I actually like the second one better. So, but that was because Whitney Houston and Shonda Rhimes were involved in the second one.
That makes sense.
I was like, aha, you know what?
Checks out.
Sense.
I haven't actually seen that one. I saw the first one.
Okay, the second one, in my opinion, is leaps and bounds better than the first one.
That's very rare because usually when they do sequels, they're like money grabs.
I know, but then I found out who the creative team was behind, and I was like, oh, you know what? That tracks.
Mm.
Thank you, Jessica.
I mean, I feel like we all know this.
I mean,
and we're like,
okay, name Dottie. Not surprised that chaotic.
That's funny.
I didn't even get the name Ranger. He came with this name. We adopted him from a dog rescue. So Ranger's history is that they found him unconscious on the side of the road after getting hit by a truck. So like his back leg was broken and he had a head injury that resulted in him having seizures for a little while.
But he's all good now?
Oh yeah, he's good. I mean, he's 10 now, so you know I can't say he's had a terrible life. But he has a little bit of arthritis, obviously, because you know he had pins in his leg from when it was broken. Yeah. But he was a good boy. But yeah, once we met him, they're like, yeah, his name is Ranger. And my first thought was like, I don't think this was negotiable. Like the owner of the dog shelter was like very firm, like his name is Ranger. I was like, oh, okay, you know. And you know they had already like trained him. It
wasn't like, oh, his name is Ranger, but you can change it. It was like his name is Ranger.
Yeah. So I didn't really get a lot of say in that, but you know, his name is Ranger or Range or Best Boy or Good Boy or Boy, right? Because when you have a pet, you don't have just one name; you have like 50, right?
So the fact that you can apply a number to it is because for me, yes, I can apply a number to the names that I call Riley. Mm-hmm. My mom is whatever strikes her in the moment.
I definitely relate to that, especially when Dobby's being a little turd. Then it's usually like Turd Nugget because he's still a cute, good boy, but he's sometimes.
I'll call Riley. I'm like, okay, stop it, you little monster. And my mom will be like, how dare you call my daughter a monster? And I'm like, I'm going to pretend that like you know the line between human daughter and dog daughter. But sometimes I really wonder.
There was my husband and I used to have cats. And one cat that we got, we adopted him when we were in Japan because we were both like, we're married, we should have pets, right? And so we got him and we got a Himalayan cat. So obviously, this one was very temperamental. And what I mean by temperamental is if you like went and reprimanded the cat for like whatever reason, like walking over the stove burners or something like that when the stove is hot, like, you know, you pick up the cat, immediately move it because you don't want it to get burned, right?
Yeah.
Well, he would take offense to that and he would retaliate by running to your laundry basket and pissing all over your clothes. So, yeah. And so his nickname was Shitface.
That checks out.
Riley, well, Riley understands, mostly because we're just so emphatic about it, that like stay away from a hot open oven.
Mm-hmm.
But she hasn't been around that as much in my apartment as my mom's. So when it happened a few days ago, she was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Away, like stay
Mhm.
away," which is
Mhm.
a phrase that we only use with the oven. Like normally, if we're like avoid something, we use the term leave it or something, like leave it alone, and she'll just like walk around it on the sidewalk or something. But she was looking at me like, "You're crazy. What is happening? Like this doesn't happen here when I visit." And I was like, and then she kept trying to like get closer. Then she ignored me when I finally like had it, because she was like, "You told me to stay away." And I was like,
Mhm.
"You know that that's not what this applied to."
For your own good. I was definitely on a live with you before when Dobby almost lit his tail on fire.
Yes.
Jumping up onto my desk when I had a candle going.
Yes. Yes. I do remember that. That was terrifying hearing about it. You're like, almost lit his tail on fire. I was like, "Excuse me, do you need to go?"
He, you know, when in his game of up down, he doesn't care what's happening up here. He's spilled drinks. He's, you know,
It's Dobby's world. You just live in
yeah. I just
You're lucky to be here. Good job.
it. Okay, let's start the sprint, or we never will. Sprint 2. If you've pre-ordered our books, then you should register them so you can get the pre-order gifts. And those are all linked on the same place where you can pre-order the book. So, you know, on the website, you can't like reach the pre-order registration like through Amazon or whatever retailer you use. To be clear. Okay. In 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone. how to do.
I think I finished doing these reestablishing shots, but I'll probably have to ask somebody to take a look at it later. So the next thing I'm going to go do is take a look at my my character's diction and clean that up a little bit, because like I told you guys, it's a redneck John Wick, right? So I put that twain a little thick in her words, and it's a little hard to read, so I'm going to fix that.
I got sidetracked, but not in a bad way. Had some to-dos and updated a to-do list. Had a phone call and a little more planning on a trip I'm taking later in the year. So did some follow-up on that.
I am formatting a book. Reformatting a book because the author decided to had told me, oh, I'm going to do some last minute proofreading, and then decided to like redo or rewrite certain sections, but didn't use track changes. So I have no idea what changed at first glance.
Oh no.
Oh, because they have Scrivener and didn't know that like you can't have Scrivener open onto computers at the same time. Like when it prompts you to make a copy, you have to. So instead they just like copy and pasted from the PDF, but then didn't do into Scrivener, and then didn't remember to use the revision mode even with that. So I'm just going paragraph by paragraph.
Yeah, I hate it when that happens. I don't use Scrivener, but I do on occasion do that in Google Docs. And yeah.
I know Google Docs at least has like a living history that you can flick through to see different versions of it, so at least there's that. But I don't know if it tells you exactly what those changes were.
Scrivener does if you use either revision mode or snapshots, because you can compare. But the snapshot thing wouldn't have worked because the person didn't know to like make a copy of the document to have something to snapshot. And then so the revision mode would have been the only way to do everything that was done, and then like to not change the method except the final piece. And then it just at this point it's too late. But going forward, we have figured it out, and I just
and with Google Docs, it doesn't like show where you made changes between the documents. You would, even if you go back and look at your version history, it just shows you a previous revision of it, but it doesn't highlight where the changes were made.
Snapshots and Scrivener shows you the changes. You can say compare the two, and it'll show all the differences.
Oh, that's really nice.
Scrivener's the best. But not everyone knows how to use Scrivener to like its highest potential. And I keep saying I'm going to make a Scrivener guide, and I am, but it's like it falls to the bottom of my to-do list every time because I'm running a freaking publishing company. But if I finish it, it could probably help me run the publishing company and not run into these redundancies. But it's just
here's the little boy that we were speaking of earlier.
I have a tuxedo cat named Christian. He was named that because when he was little, he looked like he had a Christian cross on his back. I like that you clarified Christian cross, because it is true that the satanic cross is actually different. It's not just the Christian cross upside down, like movies would have you believe. His twin brother is Aang because he has an arrow on his back. Love that. I'm excited and nervous for the Netflix show. Obviously, with the strike, who knows when that'll happen. But yeah, like I was really excited for it when the original creators were on board, and now that they left, I'm like, why would they leave?
I just sidebar. unrelated, slightly related, because Netflix. But I just finished watching Queen Charlotte, and I can't with the sorrows, prayers.
Sorrows, prayer. And then when still crying, sorrows, prayers. Like, get over it. It's like, dude lost his daughter and granddaughter. Like, I think he's allowed to grieve.
Yeah, that was priceless.
I love this. Yeah, I love the cover as well.
It's time for up down, which is really uncomfortable because I did some like prep for rope climbing the other day, and my arms are
So
really
now
sore.
your arms are like dying.
Yeah, and he's like, "Let's play up down," and I'm like, "Let's
not." I love all the covers, but I think The Storm Gathers is my favorite. Today, that is. Who knows about tomorrow? Well, you know what? I'm fine with you cycling through what's your favorite. Just means you have to pre-order all of them.
That checks out.
I got to work my favorite word, apoplectic, into this chapter. That's cool. $208, now only 1924 to go. Well, that's less than 2,000, so you can do it.
I believe in you. You can get those words.
And that will reach 80K in the draft, I believe, if I remember the earlier comment correctly. Let me set up the next forest room. I think I'm going to have to take another Dayquil. Because I thought I was completely over whatever cold I have, and the answer is I am not.
Today is going to be a big nap day for me.
Don't say that. I have shit to do, and I really want to nap.
I also have a lot of stuff to do, and today's not the day for me.
Like, I realized I missed. I was supposed to have read and replied to 3 things yesterday, and I forgot because I've been sick. And earlier this week, before I realized I was sick, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's plenty of time." And oops, got lost in the haze, just napping.
I mean, that's a real thing, though.
And I needed to. It's not like I could have kept going. It wasn't something that's like, oh, you could have powered through, but you didn't. I was actually down for the count, and I needed that rest. But today, I was like, oh, today's the 6th. And that was supposed to be done on the 5th.
Yeah, I actually that's the thing I need to do. I need to look at my emails, too.
I used to be so good at inbox 0, and then I had my leg surgery, my first leg surgery last August. And I got so, you're hopped up on painkillers. The last thing you want to do is be going through your inbox and deleting a bunch of spam and, even reading the important emails that aren't medically relevant. And so my personal inbox is out of control. And then my work inbox, which also is normally 0, I've subscribed to like a bunch of writing and publishing tips just because I'm interested in knowing what people are saying, even though they're all self-publishing tips, which are probably already in my personal inbox, but I'm barely checking that nowadays. So now they're clogging up the publishing inbox, and it's at like 400 something, and I'm like, why do I do this to myself? I should unsubscribe from a bunch of things, at least on both, but definitely on the publisher inbox, so that I can get back to it being under control.
I mean, I get that. And I do take comfort in knowing that my inbox aren't as bad as they were. Like, I have, I think, maybe around 160 in my work email, 144 in like one of my personal, and then 1,200, 1,300 in my other one. So it's like not bad. But I also have like my other like, you know, whenever you sign up for something and you just send all of your emails to that one email, that one, I don't know how much is in there.
Yeah, that's my personal email, because my author email and my like originally personal email are now funneled into one inbox. So I was basically like, oh, I need something separate that's just like to Zara versus to the publishing company.
Yeah.
But funneling two into one was a nightmare. And mistakes were made, but at this point I don't feel like separating them out again, because there'll still be one inbox that's completely padded with actual spam, and then what I've come to view as spam, even though I subscribe to newsletters and things like that.
I think I've been considering a virtual assistant.
I don't have the money to pay for a virtual assistant. If I did, that would have happened by now.
I was looking at something and it was like you can like a group of people, you can get like an hour or something a week or something like that. So it's not like they don't require like all of your business in order for their subsistence to happen. They have
You can find a couple. Oh, I'm sorry.
They have like a bunch of different people, and they're like, okay, I work for this person an hour a week, I work for that person 5 hours a week, and it's like, you know.
So my job at Rippaverse originally started off as a remote digital assistant, and it was literally my boss saying, "I just need somebody to help me out with my email." And I said, "Sure." And he's got 7 inboxes, and they all have a direct purpose. There's one for people that want to interview him, so they'll reach out for interviews on that inbox. He's got 2 different websites. He's got one for work. He's got one for his personal branding that he's got going on. So he'll get people that want to contact him on those 2 things for separate reasons. And then we've got one for tickets. And I also help out with the tickets. I'm not like the primary customer service person, but every now and then there's a ticket in there that I have to answer. So, and the one, and so when I initially started working that job, it took me like maybe an hour in the morning. I would just sit down and plow through his emails and flag the ones he had to read. And there's a tactic that maybe you two can try if you want to give it a shot. It's called a tag and drop. And so what you do is you tag the emails for follow up now, don't read, or it's junk or something like that. And so what will happen is, and you can set this up in Google as well for these categories. So it will kind of help you prioritize the ones that you have to get to. And if you start noticing kind of like what Zara was talking about, like I'm subscribed to all these newsletters, but I don't read them, their feelings won't get hurt if you unsubscribe for right now. And you can just say, I've got too many emails right now. But yeah, so if you want a virtual assistant, easy way is to go check up Upwork and go take a look at Fiverr if you want to. There's plenty on there. Don't be afraid to ask them questions and hold them accountable for stuff, because again, you're paying them to do a job. So if they're not doing the job, don't pay them, right? And just kind of take it from there. So
Yeah, I've been thinking about that because I sometimes I'm a little bit like squirrel, and you know, I be dropping things, and I don't like that.
maybe, yeah, that's why maybe that tag and drop idea might be really good for you, because you can just take a look at like who it's from and the subject line and be just like tag, 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 and then you can go back and look at it a little bit later.
I like tag and drop because I'll be going through stuff, but I won't feel like, oh, I have to actually throw this stuff out right now. I won't have to open everything to see. Like, I mean, spam I can tell just by the subject line, but the other things. Yes, we have 2 more sprints to go. Eva had us muted and is working on Notion setup. That's great. Chandra, did you get to see your database in the Notion thing?
So I looked at it and I was confused.
Okay, so we'll handle that backstage. To clarify, the characters are legit torturing someone in the story because it's a mafia story, but also for me, I want to work on the outline for Project God so bad, but still working on it is torture. But still working on a glittering cage is torture. I'm sorry, you've hit that point of the story. not the story where characters are torturing people, like that could be exciting and fine, but like I feel like there's always a stage of writing a story where you're like, I just want to be done. Notion, yeah, I love Notion. It helps me keep my sanity most of the time, but it did not help with the deadlines that were yesterday because I didn't put those in Notion. Yeah. Yep. Are people in the forest room? I haven't checked. I think so. Yes. Okay. Let's do this sprint. I'm not waiting 2 extra minutes to start the next sprint for it to be at like the 50. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Normally when that happens, it's just me, so I'm glad that you also see it. Right, Chandra?
Yes, I do see that.
Okay.
No, sir, you may not eat plastic.
He's like, why, Mom? Why can't I eat plastic?
I think he does it just to watch me panic and get his attention, and he like knows he has my attention, and then he's like, "Now I'm going to scream at you."
If you would like to help donate to the company's budget so that either, it just goes towards helping publish the books or maybe hiring a virtual assistant to save my sanity and keep the company running smoothly, the Ko-fi page is currently scrolling across the screen, and I believe is also linked in the description. I hope, because I've been using the same description for forever, so I'm pretty sure it's there. Anywho, let's start in 3. Nope, gotta wake up the phone. In 3, 2, 1. Happy productivity, everyone, and that took 2 minutes. How'd you do?
All that talk of emails got me cleaning up my emails.
Woo!
The one
That's
that was
awesome.
Yeah, the one that was really bad is now down to 734, so that's good.
My personal email and / my author email combined is almost at 14,170. And I know more than half of that can go right in the trash. I just haven't done it yet.
That's a lot of words to get through.
I don't want to, like, I need to do it. I just have a block against doing it, and I need to get over the block.
Friction points. Yep.
Also, the link that you were talking about before we started the sprint is in the description.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm just enjoying, being distracted.
How'd you do, Carol?
I started going through and fixing the slang, and then I saw some feedback that I wasn't super sure about, so I reached out to somebody else who writes comics, and I was like, I have a question. And so I was waiting for them to get back to me while I was adjusting the dialogue.
Did they get back to you, or are you still waiting?
Oh, no, he sent me a response, but I mean, it's not like I have to respond to him right now. He knows it's going to be a minute. So.
Yeah. No, not like if you responded, just if you had gotten a response that can move forward is what I was asking. So.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. He gets back to me pretty timely. He's a good guy.
Jabria came in. What is this tap, like, thumbs up? This happened when I was backstage with someone as well. Did someone like the video? Is that a new thing?
I don't know. Maybe that's a feature they've got with StreamYard now.
I know, but I was backstage the last time it happened. So it, like, no one could like the video then.
You mean like before it was?
No, like it was a StreamYard studio that isn't linked to a destination.
Oh, weird.
So it's not like anyone could like it on the YouTube side or give, like, whatever. I don't know what this is. Like Bubble StreamYard. I'm looking it up. I don't know. How to pre-record stream phone. I don't understand. It seems like it's something under multi-streaming. But even then, that wouldn't explain why it was happening with the other. Awesome, Jessica.
Good job on those words, Jessica. That's fantastic.
I'm gonna put up the code for the final sprint.
Final countdown.
I'm just still very confused about that little thumbs up bubble that appeared. So if anyone who also uses StreamYard in the chat.
Oh, it's on mobile. If someone's watching on mobile, they can thumbs up. I'll test it when we hold on a second.
But I think the person I was video chatting with, I don't Actually, I wasn't watching them while we were doing sprints, so they might have been on their phone and I just didn't realize it.
I'm gonna see if I can do it.
Okay, printer, calm down. My power strip got turned off when I used my power strip to kill a bug during one of the earlier sprints, so I had to turn it on so my computer didn't die
You
before.
used your power strip to kill a bug?
Yeah. I used it like to hit it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like electrocute it.
I was just visualizing that's like, gotta kill it. What's the closest thing? Mom, my computer's off now.
Okay, no. So the thing is that we are multi-streaming on the Inimitable Books YouTube channel and on Caro's channel. So this comment was done on the Inimitable Books YouTube channel, which means if you're in Caro's chat, you won't see that. But because we're in StreamYard, we can see all the comments from both locations.
Oh, I also have it up on mine. So that could be. I just did an emote react in the chat.
Did it pop up and I missed it?
It just
I
went
didn't
up
say
on
anything.
my-
What's up, buddy? What's up?
I could be wrong.
Oh
Hold
my
on, I'm just
goodness.
gonna like. Did you see that? Or am I the only one who could see it?
Maybe there's a delay.
So if I have it on my phone, right? And if I hold on, can you see that? It's kind of. Okay.
Oh yeah. So is that through StreamYard or is that through YouTube?
This is from YouTube.
I don't know. I'm confused.
My dog's so needy today. He's usually never in here.
Oh, it's on YouTube on the computer chat too.
Mm.
Like I do that.
Yeah, I did realize that while I was watching a stream recently. But none of that is popping up. So is there a thumbs up reaction and is it only that?
There's no thumbs up reaction either.
Like if this hadn't happened 2 days ago, I would be like, oh, maybe they're beta testing something, which they could be. But I don't know what's okay. Let's just start the next sprint. Once I share the code and people are in the room. Because I realized I forgot to actually do that step.
Oops.
625. Oh my God, these are all numbers except the end. That never happens. 373. 5 Sierra Golf. I don't think I missed anything. No, I didn't.
Wouldn't it be funny if there was like someone else creating a room at exactly that same moment and we like did a typo and went into their room instead? I think that would be hilarious. I'd be like,
That would be funny.
who's this rando in our forest room? Oh wait, I was doing all those reactions on my channel chat, not on. Where'd it go?
Oh, I'm sorry. Have we been streaming to Chandra the whole time and I just saw C and assumed it was Caro? Yes. Okay. My bad.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think you had access to my channel. I was like looking at
No,
things
but
being
you could set it up on your end, so it wouldn't be whether or not I had access or not.
Oh, that's some tech craft I'm not familiar with, but next time I will make that happen.
It's new, and because I pay for a StreamYard account, you're enabled as a guest.
Oh, that's handy. Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Why can't I see the chat?
Words, or did you make a typo and meant to write like 404 as in like error?
Okay, so I have the chat pulled up on my page, like when I look at the stream from my page. But when I go to your page, because I have them both open, and I try to pull up the chat there, there is no chat.
There's no chat on the Inimitable Books YouTube?
Not when I'm looking at it. And I know that's not correct because I can see the chat on
I
StreamYard.
see chat here. Are you watching it in like theater mode and the chat got pushed down?
No, I don't think so. No, I just switched to theater mode and it's still not there.
Because I see the chat right here.
I default view, no chat.
What is happening?
Do you want to troubleshoot it later?
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing is that when we go off live, I'll probably forget about it until it happens again. So
That's really weird.
hi.
Sorry.
If you came over from Chandra's channel, not Caro's channel, my bad, everyone, and you haven't subscribed to the Inimitable Books YouTube channel, please do.
Do it.
We're mostly streams at this point. I do have like sit-down videos planned, but that's, again, normally falls to the bottom of the to-do list. So, all of that confusion aside, let's jump into our final sprint, which asks people to subscribe. So this is a short link to get to the YouTube page.
Oh, okay.
If you're watching on Chandra's side.
Mm-hmm.
And in 3, 2, 1, happy productivity, everyone. And for the last sprint, I did 12 minutes. that was the end of our final sprint. How did everyone do?
I did really well. I found all of the unnecessary twang, as I'll call it for now, and adjusted it accordingly. I did leave in all the y'alls in there though, because that's not changing. Mm-mm.
I got through most of my emails, at least in the one that was really bad. Now I actually have to respond to the ones that are remaining as if I didn't have enough on my to-do list. I'm just gonna like leave it at that and be like, I will come back to this later.
So I know Caro answered this in chat. Google Docs works for a lot of people. For me, it always crashes if the document gets too long.
Oh, 60,000 words, yeah.
I know people who are like, oh, I've written 80,000 words and it hasn't crashed once. And I'm like, how? What magic do you possess? I will say that I briefly had a Razer laptop, which is not Apple, and I used Scrivener on there. And as long as you uploaded that backed it up in Dropbox, or no, if you saved the file in Dropbox and also had it backed up in Dropbox, then you could still use the like iOS Scrivener app. Unfortunately, you have to pay for them both separately, which is a pain in the butt. But then on the desktop version, you have access to revision mode where you can see in a different color what you do. And there is a like basically nuke option of get rid of all revisions. Not that I would recommend ever using that, but that is there. And then also there are snapshots, which allow you to like save a version of your document in the same place. So it's easy to find. And then you can compare the differences versus Google Docs will have a history of the changes in just showing like, oh, here's what the whole document looked like however many months ago or the last time saved, but it won't highlight the changes. So to me, I just love Scrivener, and it can technically work across like PC versus iPhone or iPad. But the iPhone and iPad don't have revision mode yet, which I think is a pain in the butt. So if you're writing, you can use the mobile version, but if you're editing or anything, I would use the desktop version.
I do use Google Docs for everything. I think the most I've written is about 120,000 words in Google Docs. And I've not had issues with it crashing. The biggest problem I've had in Google Docs is that if you want to run Grammarly in Google Docs, Grammarly does not work well when you get to that many words. Usually I break it up into chapters like when I'm editing, and I'll do a chapter at a time, and I'll run Grammarly on the chapter versus on the whole project, because Grammarly starts to suggest ridiculousness when you have larger documents. And I don't know why that is. But I also have this workhorse here, and I think that probably has something to do with it. But I do use Google Docs on my phone as well. I use it for both.
People are saying offline mode turned on helps. Yeah, with Scrivener, I think it's best to have it saved and backed up in a like cloud place, but it'll work on your device until you're back on like Wi-Fi or cellular or whatever and are able to save it to the cloud. And then once that's the case, then you can open it back up again on another device. It's not only tied to internet. Like, what is it? Dabble? I think that's only online. And I think
Dabble is a web-based writing software only, yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's great if you have internet, but you don't always have internet. So like those internet based.
I know it's got like an offline feature, but like Dabble looks pretty. I haven't touched it for a while. I know I did like a writing software review for it at one point, and I mean it makes stuff look pretty, helps you organize. It does all like that kind of cosmic stuff on there, but honestly, like I think I use Google Docs and I use Notion. And I use Notion kind of like Scrivener in the way that I organize and sort my files and do stuff like that. And then I use Google Docs when I need to share the stuff with somebody else and get like beta reader for feedback on it. That's honestly like the best place that I've been able to get like, feedback and commentary and view changes and have conversations in there. You could technically do that also with like Word if that's something that you want to do, but if everybody doesn't have Word, then I think it's a little cumbersome to get them to go in there and make that live document commentary and stuff like that.
Notion is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Notion you can use for so many things. I think if
Yeah.
I already own Scrivener, I might be like.
I own Scrivener too, and like I was actually talking. So there's somebody that I'm trying to co-write a comic with, and we were talking about what software that we wanted to use, and we're very far away from each other. It's a complete remote experience, and I said, for what you and I are doing, it's going to have to be in Notion. It's going to have to be in Google Drive because I'm not about to email you the same document like 10 million times.
Yeah, no, that's not fun. With Scrivener, the annoying thing is you can't, like I mentioned earlier in the stream, you can't have it open onto
No. Yeah.
documents. You'd have to like save a different. You have to rename your version or whatever, which is just dumb. But also, if you rename it before opening it, it still doesn't recognize that you changed it. So you have to like open it when it pops up of, oh, this is open somewhere else. Make a copy. You have to say yes. But then you can just make those changes. But there's not a live way to see the new comments or whatever. So that still is the emailing back and forth. So yeah,
I'm sure they'll get there. I know there's been a lot of like discussions on the Latte forums about asking it to be more web friendly, and they said that they're kind of working on it, which really means that they're going to do it for Mac first, and then they'll do it for everybody else when they get to it. So
I mean, they always do it that way, and like as someone on Mac, I can't really complain, but I still want it to be.
I waited 5 years for my 3.0. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, no, I know. I was using the 3.0 beta on my Razer laptop in 2019.
It's just so much easier to program everything to work seamlessly for a Mac versus there's so many other versions of software on all the other platforms and devices. It's like,
yeah, I feel like a lot of times software is like, do you have this Mac update or newer? Great, this is your version. Otherwise, you use this other version.
Yeah. Well, there's so many things that just don't work well on like Android phones and like Pixels and like all that other. It's like, what are you doing? Your Samsung.
Like, is that built for you? And you're like, clearly.
Yeah, I can customize it. Okay, well, your customization doesn't work here, so sorry about your luck.
I, for the life of me, cannot get EPUB check to work on my Mac. It was like, oh, download this. And I was like, okay, so just run it. And it was like, can't run it. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's Java. This is a Java thing. You run the Java, and it just didn't work. And then it was like, oh, download this to do it. Oh, no, you need something else to download first. And then to download the previous thing, which will then make, and I went through it like 4 times, like the download this to this to this to this, whatever. And none of it worked. And I was like, screw this. I removed it all from my laptop. And I was like, I'll just pay for the service to have the file converted.
Oh my.
Because I need the ebooks to work for the publishing company that are being distributed. Because Simon and Schuster were like, we can convert it. And I was like, I can convert it. That's fine. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's fine. It just needs to pass all these checks. I was like, yeah, obviously, that makes sense. And I realized in the process of doing it that I've only used online versions of EPUB check, which are sometimes out of date. EPUB check. And I was like, oh, no. So, yeah.
Can't make it easy.
No, that would be unfair.
There's just some software that's so finicky and like so weird, and until it becomes important, it's like, why am I going to learn how to use this? Like, this is going to be a whole like experience.
I mean, to be fair, this is an important thing, but because I used to use Calibre, or Caliber, however you're supposed to pronounce it, before I switched over to using Vellum for my own books, it like wasn't a problem because it had it built in. But now, sorry, that's my dishwasher.
No, I feel like, I mean, yes, but also it's like when you know you're going to have to sit down and just dedicate a certain amount of time to learning something, it's like preemptively I get tired and I'm just like, this is work. And I'm stop eating plastic. And I'm just going to have to like focus, and I don't have enough spoons today.
I've been using
I've learned
Atticus
how
for
to
my
code an ebook. Sorry, Carol.
Oh no, I was gonna say I've just been using Atticus to do my EPUB files for my short stories, because I used to use the Kindle one that they offered, but it kept crashing or not working. So I just put in the money to go and get Atticus, and that takes care of everything. I haven't gotten any issues from Amazon Kindle on those uploads, but I don't really know if that works with Simon & Schuster. So
no, so they need the InDesign source files, which is fine, and I can build it out. But the software to validate everything.
I'm about to say, don't you have to do like the $50 a month subscription to have access to InDesign?
So I do. I think it's like $100 a month, but I also have access to Premiere Pro, Photoshop, which I use all the time, and I was using Premiere Pro when I was actually making YouTube videos more recently, like regularly, and eventually I will again. And then also Adobe Audition, which is what I was using for the Writish podcast, and I'm hoping I'll be able to afford a audiobook editor for someone who is narrating their own book, which means that like I can't just pay the narrator to also edit it, because that person doesn't know how to do like intense audio editing, which is fine. I know not everyone knows how to do that. So if I have to edit it, I have the software to do it. So for me, it's worth paying for the suite. I think the only thing I don't use on a regular basis is Adobe Illustrator, even though that's the only one where it's like I kind of know how to use it, but barely. Because I was supposed to take a class to teach me how to use it. It was like advanced design and publishing. And I was the only person who had placed into the class, so they canceled it on me. And I was like,
I really needed that.
Skillshare.
Oh, it's terrible. Well, mutual respect to you for doing it.
Yeah. I learned InDesign to format a book because I wanted more design control, be able to like have the title of each chapter overlaid.
Yeah.
Thing. And this was before I had Vellum as well. But there, like, you can't choose the fonts in Vellum. You have to pick theme, which include like it's this font paired with this font. Like you don't really get to choose the options.
And you can't create your own.
You can't upload a font that you have. You can't create your own template, design template, or things like that. So like it's great for my dystopian and sci-fi books where it's like the text should be really simple and things like that. But at some point I'll probably be formatting my own books in InDesign again. But who knows when that'll be, because I've barely been writing my own stuff since starting the company. Anyway, let's do outros.
Oh, you're pointing at me. Hello, my name is Kara Brown. I am an urban fantasy author. I'm also the executive over at Riververse Publishing, a comic book company. And I came here today to work on one of my own scripts for Redneck John Wick, as I like to affectionately call it. And I managed to hopefully fix these opening 3 pages. I'm going to ask somebody to look at it and let me know. And I corrected some unreadable slang. So that was me. Thanks for having me.
Hi, everyone. My name is Chandra Arthur. I'm one half of Flash Fiction Live, which you can catch here on the YouTube. I'm also a science fiction, historical fiction, and fantasy writer. I'm currently editing my sci-fi project and cleaning up my inbox. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for today.
Yeah. My name is Zara Hoffman. I'm the founder of Inimitable Books, which is a publishing company turned imprint of Ulysses Press that publishes fiction from diverse voices without pigeonholing authors into writing about their trauma. And I've just been working on formatting a book during the stream. I will continue to work on that until it's done. And then I will be editing a book and also reading some other books, all for the company, not like reading a book that's already been published. I have more than enough of those on my bookshelf, and those will be read before I die, but I can't say anything else. Thank you for being here. I will be streaming again. I think it's on Tuesday. I don't remember off the top of my head, but please subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the bell if you haven't already, so you're notified every time that I do stream on here. And Sundays are YouTube exclusive streams, but then other days of the week are also simulcasted to Twitch. So same username, Inimitable Books LLC, and you can follow us there as well. So thank you everyone for being here, and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye.